Well, I hope to God that eventually we find out that maybe Caitlin Clark was asked to do this and maybe she said no. Because if that's not the case, then the WNBA and the Players Association, the WNBA PA, and the league, to be honest, continue to disrespect the far and away biggest draw that this women's hoops league's got that they've ever seen.
Imagine breaking records, selling out arenas, becoming the face of the league, then getting snubbed like you're just the intern at a merch drop. That's what just happened. The WNBA Players Union rolled out a campaign featuring A'ja Wilson and Angel Reese and left Caitlin Clark off the roster. Now the internet's lit. So, what is this? A power move? A petty swipe? Or just a PR misstep in team colors? Either way, grab your popcorn. This tea is hotter than a courtside seat at a Liberty game.
Jealousy and sheer incompetence are going to be the three main reasons why the WNBA never reaches the popularity, never reaches the shine that they think they deserve. Stubbornness, incompetence, and jealousy are going to be the reasons why Caitlin Clark remains at the mountaintop and nobody else ends up even being close to joining her up there. And it's all the WNBA, the players, the executives, Kathy Engelbert. It is all their fault. They're far too jealous. They're far too stubborn. And from a business sense, they are all far too incompetent. What am I talking about?
They could have just handed Caitlin Clark the crown, a throne, and a warehouse full of sold-out merch. But nope. Instead, they dropped a campaign move so transparent it practically shouted, "We'd rather sink the ship than let her steer it." When the WNBA Players Union unveiled their shiny new merch line and conveniently left out the league's biggest ticket seller, maybe ever, it wasn't subtle. It wasn't strategic. It was petty o'clock with a side of performance.
Biggest draw, their biggest revenue churner, the biggest ratings, viewership draw, attendance draw, the whole, if it's a draw, Caitlin Clark's bringing them in droves and lined up to come in the door. I'm awaiting a record, some kind of a record rating for her return the other day against the Liberty. I'm awaiting for that viewership rating to come in for television. I got a question. If you were going to market a product and the WNBA was going to be officially involved in it, would Caitlin Clark not be the number one overall draft pick that you would have? Well, to the Players Association and the people involved with it, I guess not. And this is baffling to me. It's terrible business. It is failed business.
Let's get one thing straight. Caitlin Clark didn't turn this down. She didn't ghost anyone. She wasn't off fitting logo threes or signing baby onesies. She was never even invited to the party. And let's be real, if she had been, her merch would have sold out before breakfast. The others, probably still chilling in carts like that one weird gum flavor no one ever actually buys.
NBA Players Union chooses Angel Reese over Caitlin Clark in social media posts. Now, to be fair to Angel Reese, it wasn't just Angel Reese. It was everybody not named Caitlin Clark. It was everybody the old guard thinks is a star, not named Caitlin Clark. This is absolutely pathetic, absolutely embarrassing, and we are going to show you why momentarily. WNBA's Players Union chooses Angel Reese over Caitlin Clark in social media post originally appeared on Athlon Sports. Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark and Chicago Sky forward Angel Reese have not exactly had fortunate starts to the 2025 WNBA.
And therein lies the problem. It's not that Caitlin's too controversial. It's not that she's too new. The issue is, she's too successful. She's the one whose jersey flies off shelves like limited edition Beyoncé merch. She's packing arenas, doubling ratings, and shifting the spotlight with every game. The optics, sure, they're strong. The economics, even stronger. But the feelings, that's where it gets messy. Because if Caitlin's merch sells out instantly while the rest gathers dust, we're no longer talking about unity. We're talking about reality. and that's what they're not ready for.
I'm just in shock. I'm in shock. So you've got a lot of the biggest names in the entire WNBA here. You've got Aja, you've got Kelsey Plum, you've got Paige Beckers, you've got Angel Reese, you've got Fee, you've got Cameron Brink, you've got Sabrina. So you've got a lot of the bigger names, if not the biggest names in the entire WNBA right here. And who's not there? It's Caitlin Clark. And if you guys have not seen this right here, FM cases and the WNBPA. The WNBPA. So this is 3 days old. I got sent this email today. I actually, in fairness, I did see a tweet, not including the most popular player. This is how much they hate Caitlin.
Instead of riding the wave Caitlin's created, the league pretended it wasn't happening. It's like throwing a pizza party and skipping the cheese so you don't offend the crust. Caitlin is the flavor, and ignoring that doesn't make it less true. This isn't about race or highlight reels. It's about what happens when someone skips the script, dominates anyway, and leaves the old guard unsure whether to applaud or panic. They saw her coming, they just didn't want her to arrive. Now that she has, they're dodging every chance to embrace it without admitting she's changed the game. So what's the plan? Passive-aggressive exclusion, dressed up as balance. Aja Wilson and Angel Reese are stars, no doubt, but leaving Caitlin out, that wasn't oversight. It was intention.
The exact abuse that they're giving Caitlin Clark right now to Sabrina Ionescu. Like, let's be real, you can look. If you read what some of these things have said about Sabrina Ionescu before Caitlin Clark walked in the league, but now they have the new bully victim. And it's so funny looking at it where you're like, all these, it's so clear that these people, it's just an anti-Caitlin people, because it's like an enemy of my enemy is my friend, where it's like, they are these individual pages where you look at the players they hype up, and Paige Beckers, and by the way, by all accounts, Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark are friends. They'll have their profile's Angel Reese, and the players they're going to hype up is Paige Beckers because she is a rival to Caitlin Clark. And let's be real, that's an actual rivalry.
Let's not pretend this wasn't deliberate. Leaving out Caitlin Clark, the league's top seller, wasn't about fairness. It was about keeping things balanced, even if that meant sidelining the biggest draw the WNBA's ever seen. Can't have a rookie white girl from Iowa making everyone else's merch look like leftovers. But this wasn't just a fumble opportunity. It was a glimpse into the league's own insecurities. They want the spotlight, the dollars, the growth, but only on their terms. Caitlin didn't follow the script. She just showed up, delivered, and exposed the cracks. Instead of riding the momentum, they're trying to steer around it, smiling while doing it. Call it strategy, call it equity. But when your top performer gets benched for optics, it's not inclusion, it's control. And the message? You can be great, just not too great. Not too soon, not too loud. The same old tune, still playing.
Clark had another, whatever you want to call it, confrontation in a WNBA game. Like, why is this happening? The Caitlin Clark phenomenon is one that I got wrong. I never really thought that Caitlin Clark would make the difference that she has in college basketball or in the WNBA. What other sports analogies are out there that are in any way similar to the impact that one individual has had on a larger sporting universe? Tiger was...
Be great, but don't outshine the vets. Break records, just not too loudly. That's the message. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark keeps showing up, smiling, and draining logo threes like it's nothing. She's the storm they can't stop, and instead of embracing it, the league's trying to cover it with PR tape. The merch snub didn't silence her, it amplified her. Fans noticed. Sponsors noticed. The silence from the league? That was the loudest part. This wasn't an oversight. It was a warning. You can shine, but only on their terms. Not too fast, not too bright. Not if it changes the order.
Exact. So one player puts people in their seats you don't include. It genuinely seems like everybody going mad about this. So this only started happening around the last day. But at the end of the day, look, the WNBPA can do whatever they want, I guess. And if this case is with the WNBPA, as far as I'm aware, players' rights are not done separately. I think the WNBPA come to an agreement, can come to like mass agreements like what they did with NBA 2K. With this saying it was an agreement with the WNBPA, knowing how the negotiations work with NBA 2K, with the players associations and stuff, and again, I could be very wrong with this, but I don't think this is something that'll be on an individual by individual basis.
Caitlin Clark rewrote the script, and that's why she's being left out. Her success isn't a glitch. It's a spotlight the lead doesn't control. Instead of riding the wave, they're pretending it's not there. But fans see it all. The numbers, the energy, the shift. Caitlin isn't just playing the game, she's changing it. And the league's choice to sideline her says more about their fear than her future.
Her first game back against the Liberty, where she scored 25 points in the first half, had LeBron James tweeting about her, and also sending her direct messages, apparently. They beat the Liberty, who was previously undefeated, 9-0. The game Saturday afternoon on ABC, and 21 million people watched the game. Now, according to Nielsen, that is the most watched WNBA game. Now, this all comes on the heels of ratings being down, viewership being down 55%. I want to get this exactly right. I have this all written down here. Lucky for you guys. So this story broke last week, but I want to weave it all in as we talk about this topic. Nationally televised WNBA viewership is down 55% since Caitlin Clark.